I'm here to introduce Bob Miles. Bob will share his story about becoming Catholic and how he has listened to God. Bob has been a custodian for 24 years. He likes to have fun and strives to be happy. Anyone that knows or has worked with Bob would agree with that sentiment. In the past 5 years that I've had the privilege of working with him at St. Patrick's Fine Arts Elementary, I've learned that Bob is not just an awesome custodian, but he is an amazing friend, a shoulder to cry on, a wonderful listener, a troublemaker, a prankster, but a guy that will drop everything to help his friends, family, colleagues, or anyone really. He's an all-around great guy and a man that we are blessed to have on our staff. So please welcome Bob Miles.
Thanks, Megan. You're too nice. So when they asked me for a title of this, I had no idea because I wrote it when I was fishing. And I guess once you hear it, you'll get the drift. Hi, my name is Bob Miles, and I'm a custodian at St. Patrick's Fine Arts. I was at St. Catharines in Pitcher Butte for 14 years. I have been doing this for 24 years now, and I can honestly say there has not been a day that I have not wanted to go to work. There have been days that I would have liked to stay at home, though. I have 2 kids, Carrie, 37, and Troy, 35. 2 granddaughters, Sydney and Kaya, 12 and 10. We got married when we were 19 and have been married for 38 years. Wow, to the same. It's just lucky I was the growing up one. I would like to tell you about my journey to becoming Catholic and the ups and downs of my life. Way more ups. Graduated from Winston Churchill in 1975, met Joyce, my wife, in 1976, and married in 1977. The first couple of years are a blur. We had Carrie 8 months after we were married. She said to us a couple of years ago, "Hey, I was at your wedding." Math has never been her strongest subject. I am very proud of both of our kids, but it seems never at the same time. That's true too. I worked at Diplomat Industries making motorhomes when we were first married. One day I came home and Joyce said to me out of the blue, "You need to get a better job." Being as dumb as I was, I said, "Okay," not thinking or taking it as an insult. So I signed up for a 6-week welding course at the college. Never told anyone. The trailer company found out, and they signed me up as an apprentice welder. Initiative will get you places, I found out. So I was 23 and a journeyman welder, worked for 13 years in the trade, structural and metal fabrication. I am still welding, millwrighting, at Cavendish Farms, former Maple Leaf Potatoes, when they call me in to work shifts and shutdowns. The reason I left the trades was I was gone 6 months of the year out of town, and I had 2 young kids. I'll never forget when Miss Mary Henderson was Troy's kindergarten teacher, and it was Troy's day for show and tell. Troy said, "We got a new garbage can, and my dad didn't come home last night." She talked to Joyce when she came to pick him up at the end of the day, asked if everything was okay. We had a good laugh, and I also realized at that time I needed to be home missing my kids. Just being at home for my family was what was right. I left welding in 1992 and started at St. Catharines. I've met so many people and made so many friendships. I had a friend, Jim Jaworski, met him through hockey with our kids. He was a great friend. One day he said to me, "Bob, there's two things I need you to do for me. Quit smoking and become a Catholic." Again? Okay. Well, Jim died November 2nd, 1992, 46 years old in a traffic accident, coming home from Kamloops. I went to pick up his body at Revelstoke and brought him home in the back of the van. His kids were 8 and 12. That was a changing point in my life. So my promise to Jim became a quest. I quit smoking in 2000 and started RCIA, Rite of Christian Initiation, in 2003. In the meantime, I met this guy that would change my life forever, Terry Wilson. He was my inspiration to becoming a Catholic. I'll never forget the day he and his family pulled up to the front door at St. Catharines. I greeted them. They proceeded to bring in his stuff, singing inspirational hymns. Well, I said, uh-oh. But it was the beginning of a great friendship. Terry passed away June 19th, 2010. He named me executor, which is an honor and a life sentence together. So going through RCIA was the most rewarding religious experience I've ever had. I never felt closer to God going 2 times a week to church. My mentors, Earl Gibbons and Doc Doyle, and the whole community of Pitcher Butte was awesome. Father Tito was amazing. Then my faith was tested 10 years ago. Joyce and I went to the Mexican mine Riviera. I went scuba diving at Cozumel. That day, Joyce stayed at the hotel. I just wanted to snorkel, so I jumped in the ocean, about 85 feet deep. Clear water as far as you can see. It was great. Lobster, barracudas, sunken boats, dolphins. I saw everything. I remember was getting too far away from the land and boat. Tried to swim closer to but the current was too strong. Well, before you know it, I was out of sight of the boat and land. So I've got my cross on, bobbing in the ocean. Can't see anything but waves. I actually said my goodbyes to everyone, thinking I'm not going to survive this. You know, I never felt alone. I've never been afraid to die, but this was different, peaceful. So I thought, dang it. Actually, I didn't say dang it. I thought all the fun I'm going to miss out on. And I've had a lot of fun since then. So get this. A fishing boat sees me, picks me up after 2 hours floating in the water, radios all boats, and hey, there's a boat out there with one less person on it. They came and got me. We'll never forget the feeling of not being alone. Life is not always fun. I live my life by working hard, playing hard, and loving deeply. And there is a lot of pain that we all endure. There is death, family issues, health, and it gets tough. I need strength to get through some days. I have come to the realization that I will always look at the glass being half full. This summer we had a family tragedy. Kent Peterson, my nephew, was fatally injured in a pedestrian accident on 3rd Avenue South. Kent was one of 2 students that ever graduated from CCH with physical and mental disabilities. He was 39, born February 29th. He'd be 10 this year. I am so grateful that I was with Kent when he passed. It was so sad. Every day was an adventure for Kent. He truly loved life. Linda and I would talk every day after getting ready for Kent's funeral. Linda would say a word, and that would stay with me, still does. I would say, hey, Linda. She'd say, Bobby, this is too real. I don't know if I can do this. Did this really happen? Linda, I have never been prouder of anyone than I have with the way you conducted yourself and your daughter, Tammy. I will always remember the day of the viewing, and you said, Bobby, I don't know if I can do this. When we got to the funeral home, Linda came to me and said, I'm okay. Kent talked to me. He said, Mom, I'm all right. I knew then, as I always have, God is always with us. We just need to listen. And right now, God, I'm all ears. Thank you.